Endangered Species, Communications 100, by Ethan Dowler, Samantha Sheets, and Asia Jones. Tigers, elephants, polar bears, and millions more. You see them on posters, t-shirts, television shows, and even stuffed animals. But have you ever thought that they would leave this earth and never return? Are you okay with the fact that these animals could possibly be just a memory to us and only read about them in books or see them on National Geographic to our future generations? It is so important for humans to understand the effects that these endangered animals have of becoming extinct. We as humans need to change our behaviors in order to save these endangered species. Do you think about what would happen when these endangered species disappear? In the words of the World Wildlife Fund, when you remove the one element from a fragile ecosystem, it has far-reaching and long-lasting effects on the biodiversity. The variety of life in our ecosystem is consistently threatened by human activity, from hunting, development, poaching, and even effects of the climate change. Today, we are going to talk about only a few of the millions of animals on the brink of becoming extinct and what we as humans can do to change our behaviors in order to save these and other endangered species around the world. The Amur leopard, a subspecies of the leopard, lives in the far east part of Russia in the mountain areas near the river basins. They live in cooler habitats and have thicker fur and longer legs to adapt to the winter conditions. Their color is pale in the winter to camouflage in the snowy areas while hunting. The Amur leopard typically hunt deer, badgers, and hares. They hunt in large territories to avoid competition for prey. They run up to 35 miles per hour and carry and hide their kill in trees. Because they hunt deer, deer park owners are shooting the leopards because they are hunting on their parks. These leopards are considered critically endangered, which means there are less than 50 in the wild. Alta Alta Conservations states that there are only currently less than 40 in the wild. Not only are they threatened by deer park owners, but humans also hunt the Amur leopard and poach them for their beautiful hides. They are losing their habitat because of the developments in the forests. Another threat by their own genetics. Because the species is so limited, inbreeding is a serious threat. But most of the threat of the Amur leopard is because of human activity. There is hope for the Amur leopard. Alta is working hard to reduce threats to the Amur leopard and the Amur tiger species by funding conservation projects. They also are trying to educate and inform humans to keep their species from becoming extinct. There are a lot of support from zoos in Europe and Northern America, and they have approximately 200 in captivity. So reintroduction is possible. The World Wildlife Fund is working with the Russian government to preserve the species. Lobbying has been successful, stopping mining and pipelines plans from destroying their habitats. Now we're going to talk about the African and Asian elephants. Both are endangered species. There are only 35 to 45,000 Asian elephants left in the world. Humans first tamed the Asian elephants 4,000 years ago. They are easier to train and tame than African elephants. Elephants are considered pests. Habitat loss is the main reason for their endangerment. Due to their highly increased appetite, elephants need a wide habitat so that they can eat. Humans are increasing their living spaces using the elephant's habitat. Hunting is also a factor in the elephants being endangered. Their ivory tusks were high valued in Europe and in Africa in the 1970s. People used elephants as a way of income by herding these animals around. Between 1979 and 1987, there was a decline in the African elephants from 1.3 million to 600,000. The polar bear. Polar bears live in the Arctic, above the Arctic Circle, in Alaska, Canada, and the North Pole. They use the sea ice in the Chukchi Sea and Bering Sea and Arctic Ocean for their migration. To survive in extreme cold, they have a thick layer of fat which keeps them warm. They have paws that are webbed for swimming and are somewhat slip resistant on ice. They have black skin, yet appear to be white and yellowish due to the hollow fur that reflects the light. Polar bears' main food source are seals. However, they also feed on walrus and bird eggs. They hunt the seals, waiting at the breathing hole at the ice for the seals make. They are waiting for them to surface, and also smelling out the seals' dens where the seal pups are. The polar bears then break through the ice and get to the seal pups. Unlike fellow bears, they do not hibernate. The females do den, though, when they have their pups. They are homebodies, following the same migration path, taking the same way back home each and every migration. They were put on the Endangered Species Act in May of 2008. The main threat to polar bears is the melting sea ice caused by climate change. The rise in offshore drilling is causing destruction to the polar bear's environment, and more people are encroaching in their environment. Only 25,000 are left in the world. According to scientists, by the year 2028, 70% of the polar bear population will be gone. The sea ice is melting at an alarming rate, approximately 70% since the 1970s. This is causing the habitat for the seals to disappear, making it harder for the polar bear to find food, causing them to swim more, move faster on the sea ice since the sea ice is moving faster since there's less, thus causing the polar bear to burn out more calories. Thus, they are starving to death. The only way we can help as humans is to slow down climate change process, eliminating greenhouse gases and carbon dioxide. Mussels. Not only are top predator numbers diminishing, but the small species are threatened too. There are approximately 300 different species of freshwater mussels in North America rivers and lakes, and most of them are suffering. Mussels are eaten by many different animals, and they are depleting. The other wildlife will be affected as well. They will need to go to other waters to eat. The water will get polluted because they purify water. The mussels bed in the bottoms of the rivers, also supporting fish, worms, and aquatic insects. In conclusion, as we can see from a few examples, humans play a huge role in the extinction of most endangered animals. The species going extinct will cause the whole ecosystem to deplete in global scale, and related species at a time. Humans need to be more aware of their ecosystem and stop hunting, polluting waters, and burning forests to leave their habitats alone. On page 7, you'll find all of the references that Samantha, Asia, and I used. Thank you.